welcome back. Today I've come to talk to you about books I've DNF'd. Now, I wanted to wait until I'd DNF'd 10 books this year, but I've just looked back through my Goodreads and I've only got 8 written down, so who knows. This year I've really discovered the joy of DNFing. Previously, a book would have to be really bad for me to want to not finish it. And this year I just decided that actually, you know what, if I'm just not feeling it, I don't have to read it. There are so many books out there that I want to read that if something is just not grabbing me and there's no other reason why I should read that specific book, or if something's getting into my head in a bad way. So I'm here to talk to you about the books I've DNF'd this year, why I chose to do it, and my reading on the whole has never been better because I'm not putting myself into slumps by forcing myself to read stuff that I'm just not feeling. And I've reached that stage in my life. I've got to that age of 0 fucks left to give, frankly. And so yeah, here I am. Oh, and I might show you my embroidery at the end because yeah, apparently that's how old I am now. I just had my birthday. My birthday was on Tuesday and my age is 0 fucks left to give, but look at my embroidery. Okay, so number 1, the first book I DNF'd this year, I think. Actually, I'm not sure about... let me just check something. Wait. Nine books I've DNF'd this year. Okay, that's less bad counting. Okay, the first book I DNF'd this year was Kitty and the Midnight Hour by Carrie Vaughan. This was recommended as if you like Shauna Maguire, P.S. guarantee of no sexual violence in her books, or you like Patricia Briggs, then you'll like these books. Now, Patricia Briggs doesn't have that same sexual violence guarantee, but she sure as dial does let you know where she stands on it. Carrie Vaughan does too. She loves it. Isn't it great? You can be raped until you feel so much better about your life. That's why I'm not reading that book and I'm not going back. Not for me. Book 2, A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. Now, this is a really great book. It just got into my head, and when I started reading it, I felt like I was happy, I was well connected, I have a good life. Halfway through the book, I was like whinging to everyone about why I was so lonely and complaining about feeling isolated and depressed. And it's not me. I'm not isolated. I have good friends. I have a good community. I live in this house with 6 people. I am not isolated. I am not lonely. And I am happy. But the book transferred over the emotions into my head, and it was doing a number on me. So I couldn't finish it. I'm sorry. It was a great book. If you feel like you can cope with that, that's great. But I needed my happy, connected, cheery life back, and it wasn't worth the second half of the book. The third book I DNF'd was Murder Before Evensong by Richard Coles. My boyfriend was super excited for this book, and he tells me he did warn me that it was dull as ditch water, and I just decided to read it anyway, because I forgot that, so that's on me. Dull as ditch water. The Name of a Rose by Umberto Eco. It was dry. It felt like it had no kindness, no wit, no compassion. Not for me, but I know a lot of people love it. And I could spend my whole life perfectly happily never reading this book. I could have finished the book, but I saved my time and I saved my energy. Watching the English by Kate Fox. Now, she's got a very specific class location in mind for her English people. She's not straightforward about that. She says, oh, this is so completely different in all the different classes. Yeah, but no. No. You can use this. Some things were absolutely spot on for my situation and where I live, and that was great. But some of them weren't. So you can't use this as a guide to how to live the rules of your English. You can't use it as a, oh yeah, that's my friends, I see that. You can't use this as, this is what English people, it's just, I don't even know what this book is for, but it's not for me. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Now, I know a lot of you love Red Rising, but good God in heaven, why is everyone straight? It's not natural. It really isn't. The Passengers by John Mars. Oh, so cynical. It was just like, I was really excited for them about this book. It's a thriller in which self-driving cars, they've been hacked into, and some people are going to crash, and there's a voting for who gets to be saved, and then like there's explosions, and it could have been a really great thriller. Instead, it was a polemic about why technology is bad and why attempting to make roads safer is just going to lend to utilitarianism and oh no. Empire of the Vampire by J. Christoph. Now, this one, there was nothing wrong with the book. Absolutely nothing wrong. When I picked it up, I was perfectly happy to keep reading until I had some reason to go and do something else. I didn't feel like I needed to instantly start checking my phone. I didn't feel like I had to urgently empty all the bins, or, you know, I was perfectly happy to pick it up and keep reading. But the problem was, when I put it down, I didn't want to pick it up again. There was never a point at which I thought, I know what I'd like to do. I'd like to sit down with some vampires. I never felt that impetus. I just thought, this is a massive book. Why am I even bothering? So I might finish it later, but for the moment, I don't think I will, because I don't think I'm ever going to feel like I want to pick it up. Maybe I'm wrong. And the last book I got this at the library. This was another of my 12 in 23 books. In fact, let me check my notes. 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th 12 in 23 books that I'm DNFing. Apparently my Facebook friends don't know my taste as well as I thought they might. Anyway, The Chosen Queen by Joanna Courtney. Now, this is a historical novelisation of the life of Edith, wife of Harold. There are a hell of a lot of Queen Ediths in late 11th century English history, or Welsh history in her case. So here's one of them. She's the second in a row I don't know. There's an area of Cambridge called Queen Edith. This is not that Queen Edith. She is a beautiful woman. That's what we know from contemporary sources. She's not a young woman. She's a beautiful woman when she marries the King of Wales, Griffith. In this book, he's called Griffin because nobody has their names the same. Even when there's a modern anglicisation of the name, or modernised in the case of the English names. Like Meredith becomes Morgan. What's wrong with Meredith? It's a perfectly reasonable name. Anyway, she makes the choice to change the name so that everyone's got a distinct name and everyone's got a name that looks and sounds modern. And in some cases, absolutely would not have been used in medieval times. But that's fine. That's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. But what is not fine is making this hero, this protagonist, who we know to be a beautiful adult woman, 14, having sex, and yes, graphic sex scenes, not off screen, with a 42-year-old. Someone who's meant to be her equal. Someone who was her equal in his true history. That is a choice. That is not historical accuracy. That is not regrettable, but that's how it was back then. That is a modern woman choosing to portray sex between an adult and a child because I don't even know why. Why would you choose to do that? Why? There's no historical basis for it at all. It's just disgusting. Utterly disgusting. But it's the choice she went with. And my choice is not to read any more of her books. I'm sorry, I've worked myself up there a bit there. So, anyway, my point is that sometimes people are disgusting. Humans, what can you do? But I put myself a reading challenge of 120 books this year, 10 books a year. I am at 100 books read this year. And I think it's because if I'm not feeling something, if I don't have the urge to pick it up, I'm feeling free to just say, put it down, walk away. And it's taken me a long time to get here, but I'm so glad I'm here in this space right now. Oh, and let me show you my embroidery. So I saw a pattern for a bookmark with a bookshelf or bookcase, which is cross-stitched, coloured in for every book you read that year. And I thought that sounds brilliant. And I thought, I can't be bothered to wait until some arbitrary day. I'll do it on my birthday. I'll start my birthday. Every book I finish between my 45th birthday and my 46th birthday, I will colour in. Now, that was 4 days ago. And I have finished 4 books. So I've got Pink for Romance, Sailor Proof by Annabeth Albert. This is a book about a guy who works on a submarine who has jealousy issues because his ex is going to be kissing someone else when they get on shore. And so his friend says, my brother will come and be your boyfriend. And of course, because this is a romance trope, they end up falling in love, and it's usually sweet and romantic. The next one is a sort of sage green graphic novels. I read Welcome to St. Hell, which is a young man's story about how his teenage years cosplaying a girl and how he got through those, and it's kind of uplifting. It's hard along the way, but he's got such great parents, even though they're not perfect, because who is? But yeah, it's kind of uplifting. I really liked it. The next one was a historical fantasy. I still got yellow for history and peacock blue for fantasy. The Wicked Bargain by Gabe Cole-Novoa, which is a NB magical pirate book, and it's got family, it's got romance, it's got people coming to terms with who they are. It's really adorable, and if you like, what's not to love about NB magical pirates? Oh, and they're Latinx as well. That's what might not be to love if everyone was white in the Caribbean, because sure, that happens. And the last book I've read so far in the last 4 days, last book I finished in the last 4 days, is a Purple for Children. Is Skandar and the Phantom Rider, which is a bit grimmer than Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. It suffers a little bit from middle book syndrome. But I'm glad I read it. So thank you to the child who is not reading this, and his parents are not watching this. Not watching this, and his parents are not watching this. But here the child who recommended it to me. I went climbing one week, and he was recommending it to everyone. But apparently I was the first person to actually read it. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I don't know whether I'll finish a book today, hopefully, because then I can hopefully I'll get this one finished, and then I can send it back to the library when this one goes tomorrow. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye.